Hello and welcome back to Lord Fenton Gaming's Don't Panic series. I'm your host, Lord Fenton's Don't Panic series. We're going to go ahead and talk about Wasteland 3. Yes, the tactical RPG isometric game. So you're wondering, you're stuck in the trenches fighting against hard foes like this big old metal robot. You do not know what to do. You ran out of ammunition on your shotgun. You built your character the wrong way. You're in danger. You're about to die. Well, do not panic. Help is on the way. With this guide, we can go ahead and talk about character builds, weapons and armor, and much, much more. So let's go ahead and start this guide up. I'm going to go over each and every difficulty in the game. First of all is Rookie. You should definitely play this if it's your first time ever in an isometric RPG. No friendly fire, that's good news. Next step up is Wastelander, same thing as Rookie, but combat's basically normal. That's like middle of the road. Ranger, that difficulty is hard in combat. Friendly fire is on, so yeah, be careful not to hit your own people. Last but not least, Supreme Jerk difficulty, extremely difficult combat, really unfair. Friendly fire is on, and things are getting very tough. So what's my advice about starting out in Wasteland 3? Do the first two difficulties, either the Rookie or the Wastelander. So that's about it for difficulty. Let's talk about character creation. So after picking your difficulty, you could have two choices. Either select these pre-made Desert Rangers or create your own. I'm going to give everybody a simple advice. Create your own. Do not do these, what do you call it, pre-made ones. There's so many mismatches in it, and I felt like this would be like bring you down. Unless you want a challenge, of course. So let's go ahead and get to the actual character creation. Here we are at the custom character creation. I'm going to go over very important things. I will not go over portraits or appearances. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Let's go ahead and talk about backgrounds. Now, character backgrounds are like bonuses your character receives. Each of them are very different, so I'm going to go ahead and go over the ones that are really good and the ones I feel like that are lame. So let me go ahead and select the first one, which is a bookworm. So let's talk about that one. The very first background I'm going to talk about is bookworm, which gives you experience bonus, which is 5%. I'm going to say this right now, it's very good for some of the builds in the game. You should definitely want to couple it with a certain quirk I'm going to mention later on. It's great with nerd stuff too, so I would definitely advise getting that. Now, Desert Cat, Perception +1. I'm going to give an honest opinion. This one, there's a much better backgrounds out there. Unless you want to be really perceptive about looking for traps and such, that's alright, but there's much better ones out there. So next one is Disciple of the Metal. This will fire damage increase bonus. This is very nice bonus if you decide to go with big guns. And of course your main big gun is a flamethrower. Really good. Next one is Explosive Maniac. Explosive damage bonus. That number is really up there. That is great for rocket launcher builds, aka explosive builds, and the damage is like wonderful. I mean, I advise definitely going for this background if you're into that. Now, Goat Killer, critical chance increased by 5%. This is like a really good background. Common in most builds you'll see on YouTube and of course across the World Wide Web. Now, Grease Monkey, bonus damage to robots and vehicles. If you want to have a mechanic build, it's alright. However, you're facing robots and vehicles, that's like one set of enemies. And there's much better backgrounds out there. Now, next on the list is Lethal Weapon. Melee damage bonus is 10%. This one's really nice for frontline melee fighters. It's a really good background for them. Especially if you're in the brawling too. So next up is Mandarite. It gives you Kiss Ass +1. There's better ways to increase your Kiss Ass ability via leveling up. I avoid it like the plague. So let's go on the list next. Let me see. Barter. Yeah, that's money bags. Barter +1. Yeah, see Mandarite. Seriously, you could get barter up by via leveling. And by the time you get to 9, use a skill book, everyone. Yeah, trust me. Use a skill book. Now I'm going to go ahead and look at Mopey Poet, evasion plus 5%. If you're being running around the map on the front lines, this is a very good background to have. If you're tanking, yeah, this is probably a nice defensive one to have. So it's a really good one to get. Next up is Paladin, crit resistance 10%. I'm going to probably say is if you're afraid of being crit like crazy, yeah, this is a good one to get. Otherwise, there's better backgrounds to select from. So let's see what's on the list. Raider Hater, bonus damage to humans by 10%. You could be facing a lot of humans in this game. Let me tell you all this. That 10% is nice, and especially with high power weapons. Now, after Raider Hater is Sex Machine. Combat speed is 0.2%. This one's very nice if you're a brawler or someone who wants to use speed on your builds. It's a perfect setup. Now, after that one, let me see what is on the list. Stoner, status effect resistance 10%. Yeah, it's another defensive one, but I'm going to say skip it. You could get better armor or Sarah just to get resistance. You don't really need it. So after Stoner is the boss. Hard ass plus 1. Yeah, just like the money bags at Mandarite. Skip it. Seriously, skip it. So after the boss is Vicious Avenger. So let me grab my notes. Penetration plus 2. This is really nice. Alternative if you want to build someone like a sniper build. So that penetration will be much higher. It's a good advantage. Now, what's my final advice about character background? Pick what background tailors to that Desert Ranger style. If you want to go for explosives, Explosive-matic is good. If you want to be more defensive, then I probably will say as Mopey Poet is good. So let's get to the next one. Next up, I'm going to talk about the weapons you're going to have in Wasteland 3. Now, when you start out, you do not get an RPG right away. Instead, you'll find it very early on, and etc. But still, I'm going to go over every single weapon, and afterwards, I'll give everybody my personal preference for them. So let's go ahead and begin on this section. Now, first up on the list is assault rifles from the automatic weapon pool. I'm going to say this, Wasteland 1 is good, Wasteland 2 is better, Wasteland 3 not so much. The perks are somewhat not really worth it. There are better automatic weapons out there, like for example for the next one, which is a submachine gun. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Now, submachine guns, they're really good out of the automatic weapons. They're really up there. I'm going to probably say they're in the A, B tier, depending on how far you spec an automatic weapon perks. And yeah, some submachine guns can rip people apart. If they're in cover with a certain perk, you can rip them apart. If you're not in cover, you can rip them apart. Now, next up is the small arms, which is semi-automatic pistols or pistols, including revolvers. Those are a mixed bag. It depends on what you get in a pistol. Some are good, some are not good. Perks help you out on some end. It's all right. It's more like a middle road type of thing. Shotguns, they are really good. You put certain perks on there, you could devastate creatures, robots, and etc. in this game. And I heard rumors you could obliterate a Scorpatron with a certain shotgun. Yeah. So next up after the shotgun is a sniper rifle. Those are really nice, long distance. Perfect weapon to do ambushes and sneak attacks. And yeah, there are certain perks that will make it really more deadly, and certain sniper rifle abilities when you use them in battle just shreds people up. So bladed weapons next. This is all right. I'm gonna probably say low to middle of the road. There's better melee weapons out there. Yeah, the bleed part of the perks are really good, and the 4x attacks are nice too. Other than that, there's much better weapons you could use. So after the bladed weapons are blunt weapons. The only thing it got really going for is the stun perk. After that, it's kind of at the bottom. Seriously, it's at the bottom, blunt weapons. They're great in Wasteland 2, not so much in 3. It's like huge disappointment. Now, brawling weapons, they are really nice for a combo. I'm going to probably say middle to high road, depending on which brawling weapon you have and what perks you invest in it. And if you combine it with certain skills, yeah, you're a lean, mean fighting machine. Perfect weapon for a tank if you want to become the tank of the group. So after brawling weapons, I'm going to go ahead and talk about heavy weapons. And there's two categories. First of all is heavy machine guns. Those things shred real nice. They're I'm going to probably say mid to high. Sometimes in the high, depending on what machine gun you get and what perks you invest in. Other than that, yeah, they're good. So what about the flamethrower? Yeah, I feel like they're most likely in the bottom row unless you do some toaster repair perks in it. And, of course, the big gun perks. And one thing I'm going to talk about, too, is RPGs, rocket launchers. Those things are really deadly. I'm going to say they're tier A. However, if you could have found more rockets in the world, they would be up there with the shotgun. So I'm going to go ahead and give my tier list on my own preferences and experiences throughout the game. So here we go. So here goes S-rank shotguns. They're really powerful. You get a few certain shotguns. You can really run the table on this game. They're low cost in AP too. That's why it's in the S rank. Now, A rank, aka cheese mode, RPG, sniper rifles, and SMGs. Yeah, most builds I see with this nowadays, those three type of weapons. B rank, you just gotta seriously perk up these weapons, which is bladed weapons, brawling weapons, pistols, and heavy machine guns. Now, F rank is crap unless you do certain perks in combination, blunt weapons and assault rifles, and flamethrowers. That is it for the weapons and my personal rankings in Wasteland 3. We're going to go ahead and get to the next section of the character creation. Now, the next section is classic, which is coordination, luck, awareness, strength, speed, intelligence, and charisma. I'm going to go ahead and go over each and every one of them and give my personal preference to it. So here we go. Now, the first one on the list is coordination. This gives you action points, also maximum action points, status effect resistance. This is the number one attribute you should get to 10 ASAP. More action points you have, more attacks you could do, especially if you're a sniper. Max out coordination will give you 2 sniper shots, which is really good. So after coordination, I'm going to go ahead and talk about next is luck. Now, next up is luck, which gives you more penetration. Higher luck means lucky action chance. That means you could do over again. Lucky critical chance, critical hit. More chance to do critical hits. Also a mega critical hit chance. Now, this is a very good stat. This should be your 4th or 3rd one on the list. You want to max out to 10. And there's some builds that has luck in it. You could do some mega damage to it. So after luck, I'm going to go ahead and talk about awareness. So you see awareness increase your hit chance, perception, and range damage bonus. This is a very good attribute for those who like to use guns, especially sniper rifles. I advise against melee builds for this. So if you're into sniper rifles, explosives, LMGs, SMGs, and etc., even the shotgun, pump your awareness to 10. This is usually number 2 or 3 on the list. Well, actually, it's number 3 on the list for many builds I saw. So after this is strength. Gives you more con, which is hit points. Con per level increases, melee damage bonus, and throwing range. This is great for melee users and explosive people because they throw grenades, they can throw it real far and hit a foe. And of course you could equip better armor too, so this is great for frontline people as well. Yeah, pump your strength to 10, that should be number 3 on the list instead of awareness if you're more of a melee orientated build. So after this one is speed, is combat speed, is increased evasion and initiative. Now this one's very nice for those if you want to make a tanky like build. You just gotta just rub out luck and just put speed in there, just max that out. You'll be one fast person on the battlefield. So after speed, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about intelligence. Now next up is intelligence, increased critical chance, critical damage, critical heal chance, also critical heal bonus. Gain 1 plus skill point for every 2 intelligence, retroactive. Now this one is really good. Many build videos and builds I've seen online and stuff I did on my own maxed at the 10. I maxed this to 10 with a sniper rifle user, and let me tell you, the crits kept on coming. I kept on laying my marks. and it's really powerful. Now, charisma, this does is strike rate increases. That's for brawling. Leadership, which is for leaders experience bonus and mission reward bonus. I'm going to say this right now for builds. This is a dump stat, unless you're into a charismatic leader build, but still, this is a dump stat. Put it to 1. Just like Wasteland 2, Luck's a dump stat. Well, guess what? Charisma is the dump stat for Wasteland 3. So my final advice is on the classic, depending on what type of character you want. For example, if you want more range, then do coordination, intelligence, awareness, and of course, let's see here. Yeah, luck. That's for example. If you want more of a melee-oriented build, then do coordination, strength, intelligence, and speed. So just decide which character you want to build and which is perfect for your Desert Ranger. So let's get to the next section. Now, next up is the skills of Wasteland 3. There's some changes from 2 to 3, and those changes are good. So I'm going to go over each of the skills, give my personal thoughts on them. So here we go. First up is automatic weapons. Now I'm going to be honest, the assault rifles, they suck. SMGs are great, like I did list in the rankings. You definitely want this if you're into SMGs for your Desert Ranger. So yeah, definitely pick this one if you're going to go ahead and do that path. Now after automatic weapons will be the big guns. So let me go ahead and explain on that. Now next up on the skill list is big guns, from heavy machine guns to flamethrowers. I'm going to say, like I said before, there's some goodness in the heavy machine guns, even though they cost a lot of AP. While flamethrowers is garbage. So if you're going to go for big guns, just focus mainly on heavy machine guns, unless you couple big guns with toaster repair perks. Yeah, then some of the flamethrower stuff might be alright. It's a good switch weapon for rocket launchers too, in case you run out of rockets. Now, next up is brawling. This is like a melee combat skill. Increase your combat speed. Brawling weapon hit chance goes up. There's also combinations. This is a good frontline weapon. I did use it. It's really nice. And if you get a kill in, then yeah, it's perfect, especially with the certain quirks or backgrounds it does combine. So what's after brawling weapons, I'm going to say is next is melee combat. I'm going to be honest, once again, melee combat, blunt weapons, if you're going to use it, yeah, you might as well just switch to bladed. Even though both of them has a 3% hit chance on the first point, yeah, I would say it's just go with bladed weapons and just go perk up on the bladed portion of the tree. So after melee combat, I'm going to go ahead and talk about small arms. Yeah, you're here for this. And let's go ahead and do it. Now, next up on the list is small arms. Semi-automatic pistol chance gets increased. Revolver hit chance gets increased. Shotgun gets hit chance increased. All of them. I'm going to say this right now. Revolvers are pretty good to decent. Semi-automatic pistols are alright. Shotguns are great. So if you're going to go ahead and invest in small arms, this is a perfect setup. It's a shotgun. You run out of shotgun ammo. Well, pull out your revolver pistol. It's a perfect skill for your small arm users. Now, next up on the list is sniper rifles. Increase hit chance for more points you put into it. Sniper rifles are deadly. You combine it with sneaky shit. Well, guess what? You get to take out foes and get first advantages. Certain perks makes sniper rifles very powerful and devastating. That's why I put it in the A rank. So that should do it about sniper rifles. Let's go ahead and do the general skills. Next up on the list is Ammo Whisper. This one's an alright skill. More points you put in Ammo Whisper, more your ammo companions do damage, and more heart ammos you could charm. The perks do go nice with it. However, I'd rather use someone instead of a Desert Ranger, like for example Joey Bell, to max that out to 10. Now, next up on the list is Explosives. This should give you more points in explosives, more explosive resistance, more explosive damage bonus. Also, you could disarm harder mines and traps that requires explosives. Also, it doesn't tell you the more points you put in explosives, the more powerful rocket launchers you could use. This is a very powerful skill. Some builds are made by this skill, explosives. Also, I heard a combination of explosives and sneaky shit makes things devastating. Now, next up is first aid, healing effectiveness, using healing items. More points you put in that, more access you have to healing items. Also, reviving allies, depending on how many hit points you do on it. Now, I'm going to say this right now. This is a good couple skill with leadership. And that's the only thing. You can either put this in 4 or 10. It's kind of like the Shadow Dancer build in Neverwinter Nights. So after first aid, I'm going to go ahead and talk about sneaky shit. Basically, this increases your perception, initiative, also detection time, sneak attack damage, and disarm alarms, depending on how many more points you put in it. This is the de facto skill if you want to do sneak attack, especially with a sniper rifle, or if you're, in this case, some people are crazy, rocket launchers. Yeah, make sure one of your Desert Ranger members have this skill on them at all times. Max this to 10. The perks in this tree are amazing. Now, Weird Science does is increase your energy damage bonus. Also, fire, cold damage bonuses too. You can use certain items with Weird Science, including equipping certain armor. This is a pretty decent skill to have. You couple it with nerd stuff or heavy armor. Well, you could wear some very nice things in the game, and Weird Science is good for that. There's some good skill checks with that too, to get some bonus experience points and loot. Now, after this is exploration skill, armor modding. More points you have in armor modding. That means you gotta mod more tougher armor. I'm going to be brutally honest. Make a mule character. Do not make a Desert Ranger main character. Yeah, just trust me. Make a mule for this type of skill. Now, next up on the list is lockpicking. The more points you put in lockpicking, more locks you could unlock. Also, more safes you could crack. So, my advice on this is really simple. You look for companions that has lockpicking already. Or if you're needing a space for what you call it, skills, this is the one. I'm gonna go ahead and do nerd stuff. Now, nerd stuff, more points you put in nerd stuff, more computers and robots you could hack. So in other words, yeah, if they're very tough robots, with the exception of a few, you can hack them very easy. There's also good dialogue choices that you do need nerd stuff for, so you can bypass some portions of the battle in the latter part of the game, or make things much more easier. Next on the list is mechanics. Now, mechanics, more points you put in mechanics, you could do damage against robots, vehicles, and sims, which is good. Also, you can repair more things. Repair kits are more effective. And you can also use certain items. This is a very good skill. I'll probably say Ammo Whisper, mechanics, and of course survival. This is the second best you can put on in Desert Ranger. You can even put on a tank character or a SMG character, so they just throw a turret down and just let the fun fly. So after mechanics, I'm going to go ahead and talk about survival. This will, more in survival, increase damage against animals and mutants, also avoid encounters on the map. This is a very good skill. You could couple it with certain damage ones, for example, sniper rifles and sneaky shit, and then you put this one on 3. Plus, you could put this at 6 to get a certain perk to do more damage against animals and mutants, which is a very good investment in. So after survival, let me go ahead and grab my notes, which is toaster repair. Now, toaster repair does is repairs toaster. More points you put into the difficult toasters you can easily repair. This is all right. It's good to couple with what we call explosives and big guns. And the perks on it is really good, so it's worth investing in. Plus, if you want to get toaster repair to 10, you definitely want that for the Toaster Academy since it has the best armor in the game. Next up on the list is weapon modding. The more points you put in weapon modding, the more better weapon mods you put in a weapon. Plus, field stripping yields more scraps. This would have been great before the barter nerf for Wasteland 3. Like I said, with armor modding, just make a mule character with weapon modding, barter, and of course armor modding. So let's get to the next one. Now, next up the bat is bartering. The more points you put in barter, the sell value will be higher, the buy cost will be lower. I'm going to say this along with armor modding and weapon modding. Yeah, make a mule with that skill too. It was great before the nerf. The best what you call it, the perk for it was the when you get the barter to 7. So that's about it for bartering. Let's go down the list. Now, next up is hard ass. That's like intimidation. Wasteland 3, more points you have in hard ass, more you can intimidate people. I'm going to say this right now. You have a desert ranger with a spare skill to put hard ass into its setup, or have a companion. Max this out to 10 as soon as possible before end of the game. It is well worth it, or at least max it to 9. Then find the proper skill book. It is really useful and you can get out of situations or get things going your way. Now, kiss ass, the opposite of hard ass. You persuade people to like you more, do things for you. More points you put into kiss ass, the better, the higher tiers you could do. Like a hard ass, there's certain things you could bypass, and it's really useful towards the end of the game. Put this on a Desert Ranger character who has a spare skill, or make sure your companion does have it. I remember Quan has Kiss Ass there, so yeah, that's a good start. Now, next up is leadership. Nearby allies gets a hit chance increase, ally bonus on boss kills, multi-kills, and revive bonuses too. This is a really nice skill with perks in it. I'm going to say is if you max this out, it's great. Rally is wonderful. Demoralize on enemies is perfect. Yeah, I would not leave party without a leader. It's well worth the investment points to put that in. So my final advice is, depending on what Desert Rangers you make, just tailor to your style and needs. And if you're going to make a mule character, yeah, armor modding, weapon modding, and barter are the 3 perfect skills. Now, next up for Wasteland 3 is Quirks. The Quirk system was a major improvement from 2, so I'm going to go over every single one and give my own personal thoughts on it for these quirks. Now, let's go ahead and talk about no quirk first. You could have no pluses and minuses, but you're going to miss out on a lot of things. I made a huge mistake with 3 of my 4 Desert Ranger characters. Huge mistake. So let's go ahead and do the first one. Now, first one up is Blunderer. Now, this one will give you a melee damage bonus. Crit chances drop by 50%. Yeah, the negatives on this is really bad. The positive is 50% melee, but then again, that critical chance, you lose. I'll probably say skip it. There's better quirks out there for you melee fighters. Now, next up is Bot Bag. This will give you 6 armor. Combat speed is lower. Yeah, there's the thing. If you're going to become a tank, I would probably say if you want to get it, but there are better quirks for tanks out there. So next up on the list I'm going to talk about is Circus Freak. So let me go ahead and grab that. Combat speeds increase, critical resistance is increased, evasion's down 10%, detection times increase. Now, this is a good tank build. You're going to be looking like a clown, but you have that nice combat speed. Critical resistance is great. Evasion sucks. You can recover that with certain classics. And detection time, you're not going to be stealthing. Now, Death Wish, action points max, and also max action points increase. You cannot wear your armor. That's the bad news. This is great for snipers. I use it. I'm currently using it right now on my second playthrough, and it's really fun. I'm definitely going to use it on my Supreme Jerk difficulty playthrough. Doomsday Pepper, status effect resistance is increased. Cannot use any skill books. This is the most garbage quirk in the entire game. Do not get it unless you want to challenge yourself, and then you waste your skill points when you get from 9 to 10. Skip it. All build videos, skip this. Next up is Lone Wolf. You get the initiative by 20% increase, I believe. And then leadership, there's no bonuses for you for that. It's another one you definitely skip unless you want to get that 20% initiative. Still, skip it. Seriously, skip it. Now, after this is Medical Marvel. Con per levels +5. Cannot be revived during combat. If you want to be a tank like this in the con department, that's fine. This is great for the lower difficulties. I'm going to probably be honest, on the upper difficulties, skip it. Yeah, seriously. The cons outweigh the pros on those 2 difficulties, the upper tier ones. Mime, this one, detection time increased, -10 con, throwing range is 0.5. There's too many negatives. Yeah, you get a nice detection time, but I'm going to probably say is just don't do it. Just find something else that's much, much better. So after mine on my list is Poindexter plus 1 skill bonus for every 2 levels up. You lose -8 con and a -3 con per level. This one's good for nerd stuff and weird science combination. Yeah, you combine that with a bookworm, you're golden. This is a nice quirk with this. So Prospector occasionally discovers value gold, nuggets while digging, including gold bars too. -1 on quick slots. I had this for my sniper. I totally regret it. Only have 1 slot for items. Bad news. Let's get to the next one. Next on the list is Pyromaniac. So negatives is 50% chance to catch on fire when using explosives, fire damage bonus, explosive damage bonus. This is a great quirk. I'm probably going to say one of the best quirks, especially with explosives. And if you have more resistance to fire, yeah, the damage ain't going to be nothing anyways. So Sadomasochism, this one received 33% more damage. Negative side. Positive side is melee damage and range damage is great. This is a very nice quirk. So if you don't like Death Wish, yeah, you put this on your sniper. Or if you want to, for giggles, put it on your melee fighter. This is a real good one. Now, Serial Killer does his -1 action points. Gain 3 action points for each kill in combat. This is great for what do you call it? Setups that are like brawlers and etc. Even good for snipers too. And setups like SMGs. This is a good quirk to have. Now, 2 Pump Chump starts combat with 2 AP for the first 2 rounds. After that, you lose 1 AP and -50% chance hit on 6 turns. I'm going to say this is one of the very good ones for the 2 lower difficulties. The other 2, the 2 higher ones, yeah, use at your own discretion. There's better ones out there for those difficulties. Now, Vagabond Blood, this one does is when ally is down. You go into Berserk mode, gain 100% crit chance and +3 AP for 1 turn. At the Berserk rage ends, yeah, you will get -4 AP for 2 turns. This one's okay if you want to get it. There's better ones out there. Now, Wasteland Roamer, you gain resistance to bleeding, poison, shock, burning, and frozen to 100%. However, -50% chance experience bonus. I'm going to say is avoid this one unless you want the full resistance. If you're going to go tanky mode, still avoid it, seriously. And Way of the Squeezums, you gain 50% damage while drunk. And then your melee damage and range damage is like -20%. This one, yeah, if you're going to be drinking a lot, go for it. You have a character named Scotchmo who's a drunk. He's he's better than that to handle that department. So for your quirks, tailored to your Desert Ranger's needs. If you want to go for a sniper, then Sadomasochism is good. Explosive expert, I'll probably say Pyromatic. And that's about it for quirks. So the question you just saw, can I create more Desert Rangers besides the 2? Yes, you start out with 2. However, you could quickly make 2 more, even make pinch hitters. So do not panic at all. In fact, I'm going to show you this right now. Very early on after the tutorial mission, you'll talk to Sergey. Yeah, and Sergey will give you the option to make additional Desert Rangers. You can make some of them to pinch hit in certain situations. You go through the same character creation like you did at the start of the game. You can pick your background, your appearances, just like I'm doing right now. Your starting weapon, yeah, don't worry, you'll give them better ones already. Attributes depending on your highest character level, so you can add extra ones, which is really nice setup. Not only that you get to do, you also get to do these skills. Yep, see, the skills you get to put into it depending on how far you're in the game. So you could probably say if you're all level 25, you can make a level 25 Desert Ranger. You can also do quirks too. So if someone sucks on your team, kick them out and put someone better in there. You can make mules too, like a barter, armor modder, and a weapon modder mule. So that's about it for character creation in game. Now, every time when you get enough experience points, you will be able to level up. First will be attributes and skills. And then after a few levels early on, you'll be able to level up perks for, I think it's every few levels. So level up to your Desert Ranger's needs. It's really simple. Just select the points you want to put into for attributes. For example, you only get 1 per level. As for skill, you put your 4 into it. And when you get a perk point, you get 1 perk point. Pick the perk you want. Other than that, leveling is very simple in this game. I always tell people every time on my Don't Panic series is save often, save early, because if you die, get a bug, or something bad happens to you, well, just revert your save. You'll be all right. You don't like a choice, revert that save. So save often, save early, so this way you don't get any headaches. Only downside in this game is there's 10 saves, so plan ahead when you save your game. I'm going to go ahead and briefly touch over the perk system. There are so many perks in this game, so I'm going to give everybody some good advice on it. Now, for example, if you're going to go for the big guns perk or the small arm ones, first of all, if you're going to be using, say, for big guns, what do you call it, machine gun, yeah, pick those machine gun perks. And if you're going for, say, small arms, yeah, pick the shotgun if you're going to be using a shotgun more. Same thing with what do you call the other one, the automatic weapons. Yeah, go for SMGs or automatic assault rifles. And there's other good perks out there too. Just experiment. Like I said before, if you mess up, well, build another Desert Ranger. You can replace them in and out anytime you want. So that's just a brief thought about the perk system. Just experiment, read on, and fit what does tailor to your style. We're going to go ahead and talk about the money, shops, and item in the game. So money in this game is Colorado dollars, since you're in Colorado. And there's certain consumables you could use and equip in the battlefield, such as med hypos and turrets. There's stuff you can use outside of battle. Ammunition does cost money too, so be careful on how much ammunition you have. Rockets are the most expensive and the rarest, so that's my advice on that. If you see any free rockets, go ahead and grab them. Other than that, save your money for stuff you do need. You'll find so many of the weapons, and if you do need money, use a barter character and just have that person sell a whole bunch of junk. Yeah, there's junk in the game for you to sell, and it's a real good idea to use those type of characters. Let's get to the next part of the video. Here's how the equipment system does work in Wasteland 3. Unless you have Death Wish, you can't equip any armor. You can equip all the weapons and armor you want to, including trinkets. However, there's a problem. If you equip certain weapons you don't have a skill in, you get penalized. For example, you see this kneecapper hammer I have on my character I'm about to equip on Walker. Well, as soon as I equip it, I'm going to get penalized with 10% negative on hit chance, critical chance negative 100%, and strike rate is at 100% negative. So just remember, be careful what you equip. Same thing with armor too. There's penalties for that. As for trinkets, yeah, look for the ones that tailor to your style. There's so many good trinkets out there. So that's about it for equipment. This next section is about modding your weapons and armor. As long as you have the proper skill or a companion or / Desert Ranger with the weapon modding or armor modding in party, you could go ahead and do it. For example, Lucia Weston is our modder, so we're modding up this marksman rifle with the proper scope, the barrel, and etc. So here's the thing and my advice on it. Mod up your weapons and armor when you can. If you get the best stuff, yeah, go ahead and make a mule with 10 weapon modding and 10 armor modding. So this way you get the best out of those characters. That's about it for modding in Wasteland 3. So I made 4 custom Desert Rangers. There's 2 more slots. Should I add the companions? Absolutely. They will fill the holes that you do need to fill for skills. For example, if you need someone with kiss ass, Marshall Quan is perfect. Now, please note, have a backup for those in case you do something real bad, then the marshal will leave you or a certain point in the story. So definitely get companions. Do not be afraid. I'll put a link in the description for my companion guide, so this way you'll pick which companions that best suit your Desert Ranger team. So let's get to the next section of this Don't Panic guide. I am going to go ahead and go over the inventory system, the attributes, skills, perks, maps, mission log, and reputation menu. So when you first open the inventory, you're going to be like, okay, this looks confusing. Not really. In Wasteland 3, you could also go ahead and categorize your stuff you want to look at. For example, you want to look at weapons only, that's fine. Same thing with ammunition, armor, consumables, and even junk. So this way you could plan on selling it later on a mule character or barter character. And the menu system is really easy to navigate, especially on the PC version. So don't panic at all. So let's go ahead and go to the attributes. Now, in order to switch your character, you can also on the PlayStation, I believe it's 4, use the, let's see here, that is the L1 button and the R1 button. Different on the other two systems, PC system, just select. It's same thing with the skill system 2, perks 2. And the map system is not bad at all. It's a really good system. So yeah, see, there's your map. You can also track certain places to go to. So if you want to go to that clothing store, yeah, go ahead and track that. You just go there. There's your mission log. Green means it's too weak. White/gray is just right. Red means go ahead and level up before doing this mission. And one more thing I'm going to talk about in this menu system is the fame system. So if you tick people off, they'll be in the red. If you please people or factions, I should say, it'll be in the blue. You want that fame all the way to blue, and that's it about for this system. Let's get to the next part of the video. Now, exploring Wasteland 3 is very important. Yeah, you should explore, talk to people, look for hidden things, and more. If you have high perception, you'll discover stuff to dig up. For example, creepy dolls. Yeah, look for creepy dolls because they'll increase certain damage, certain things too. Plus, look for skill books. I'm going to tell you all this right now. So I'm going to put this little marker there. Here we go. Yes, find a skill book, for example, nerd stuff. Then at 9, for example, nerd stuff, use that skill book to get that skill to 10. You're saying, why is that on the screen? Well, you're going to save some skill points. This way you can put them in other skills too. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the dialogue in the game. That's very important for exploration and more. When you do explore around, you will eventually talk to people. They'll either give you side missions or you have to deal with them. Now, skills will come into play. For example, if you have a hard ass, and then you can use that option, or you can use first aid to help someone or check them out. And also, yeah, very important, talk to people for missions. You may never know what mission you find and what rewards you will get. So just go around the world, explore, look for skill books, creepy dolls, and talk to people for missions. You can even discover missions on the world map, which is the next section in this guide. So after you did all the story missions and side missions in downtown Colorado Springs and more, you're ready to go out into the world of Wasteland 3. So the world map is a bit different this time around. You travel in the Kodiak, and there will be places you cannot go to until you get some what do you call it, radiation resistance. Once you get radiation resistance, it'll open up new areas. So for now, you start off with no radiation resistance, and you're stuck in a few places. So my advice is just slowly take your time on exploring, because if you explore around, you might find side missions or places to raid for loot. So just go ahead and explore the world map. It's very neat. So eventually, one day, you'll get into combat either by ambushing your foes or your foes ambushing you through dialogue or other means. So I'm going to give some advice about it. So when you get into combat, first of all, use any of those perk abilities. For example, we have a leader using Rally to give extra AP to our characters. Just really easy, just point, click, attack. You also use items in battle. For instance, grenades on these two. Yeah, just toss a grenade. Really simple to use, much more easier on the PC version. And there's also other ways to defeat foes too, besides throwing grenades and using your certain perk skills. You can use precision strikes. Now, when you use precision strikes, it'll do is deplete the bar after it's been filled up. So just aim at certain parts. You can aim at the head. For example, this turret, you can aim at the turret or the CPU to do more damage. See, we already took down a foe that way. There's also a cover too. Your characters go into. Yeah, so if you see like a half shield, you get half cover. Full shield, you get a full cover. Moving around is very easy. Just go towards a foe and a point and click if you're especially melee, or in this case my SMG guy went real close. You can also use the environment to blow people up too, which is really nice. So what I'm doing right now is just attacking foes, really simple to do. And there's also generators you want to attack too, and if your character's turned up, go ahead and use that option with the shield, so this way you'll be more protected. Other than that, know when to strike your foes, know when to go into cover, heal when you need to, and know your damage types. So that's about it for combat. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the damage types now. Now, in the world of Wasteland 3, there are different damage types. For example, physical damage is low to medium penetration, good for all foes. Next up is energy damage, scales with weird science, skill, great against robots. For everything else like humans, mutants, and animals, not great. It applies shock. Now, next up is cold damage, scales with weird science, bad against robots, good against everything else. Applies frozen, freezes foes for a round or two. Less AP, they'll regenerate. Now, next up is fire damage, scales with weird science, bad against robots, great against everything else. Applies burning, which is a dot damage. Finally, explosive damage, scales with explosives, maximum penetration, great against all different types of foes. So that's about it for combat and the damage types in Wasteland 3. Here's my final advice while playing Wasteland 3. Save often, save early. Plan ahead on your ranger setup. Make sure you definitely fill the holes for the most part. As for a mule character, barter, armor modding, and weapon modding are great mules. If you need to substitute rangers, go ahead and do so. If you feel like a certain Desert Ranger character you made is not up to snuff, then make another one and improve on what you did wrong. Other than that, just explore, have fun with the game. Combat's really fun, and if you are having problems, come back to it later on. You'll become much stronger. Well, this is it from my Don't Panic Wasteland 3 new player guide. This is Fenton signing off. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day or night. Please stay safe. Please subscribe to my channel for more content like this. If you do like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and check out my suggestions on the upper left-hand corner or the bottom left-hand corner YouTube suggestion. Have a wonderful day or night. Please stay safe.